Hello, hello. Welcome in, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Allie, and I'm here to be your host for the next 30 minutes or so together. And in that time, we're going to be diving into Munch Studio as well as sharing some foundations for running your social media for your business. Now, social media is a whirlwind. It's a little bit complex, and complexity gets us to postpone things. It keeps us inconsistent. And the whole reason that Munch Studio was created was to help you to stay consistent online without spending hours of guesswork or of design work. Munch Studio really helps to keep you in your zone of genius and helps you to get off the blank page faster than ever before. Now, before we dive in and I walk you through Munch Studio and how it can help to simplify some of your life, I want to talk through the basics of social media in a sense of where it's at now, how social media is being used, and how you can use it inside of your business, where you should be posting, and the types of different content that you should be sharing when, and also kind of what's the purpose behind each of them. So I'll be sharing my screen with you today. And before I do so, I just want to share a little bit of housekeeping. First thing is to get the most out of this session today, I'd highly recommend that you go ahead and pull up Munch Studio. That way, as I share screen, you can jump in and kind of do things right alongside me. Now, if you're not a member of Munch Studio yet, you can always take a free trial by going to munchstudio.com. Completely risk-free. It'll learn about your business and help you to generate posts in honestly a couple of minutes. So you won't be behind. You can get started right away. Now, the other thing that I want to share is that there is a little Q&A box on this meeting. So if you've never been part of a Zoom webinar before, I want to show you how you can access that, or rather tell you about it. Now, at the very bottom of the screen, you'll see a box that says Q&A. If you have any questions that are popping up for you or anything specifically that you would like demoed, now is your time. I'm happy to be a resource for you, so go ahead and put those questions there. And then at the very end, I'll save some time. We can go through those Q&A questions and make sure you're leaving today's call feeling really good and ready to post on your own using Munch Studio. Now, as I promised, I want to share with you where social media is at today. So let me share my screen with you real quick. Hopefully you can see this well, but I do want to share that one of the key differences behind social media, where it was and where it is now, is how it's being used. And it's being used as a search engine. Now, instead of people going right away to Google, they're using social media to look at a brand, a business, whether that's a personal business, a realtor, or a coach, or whether it's a clothing line, a nutrition company, right? It doesn't matter. It helps people to learn about you and also to compare their options. So if you don't have a social media in your business currently, and you take nothing away from this call, other than this, it is that if you don't get on social media and use it actively, your competitors are. So it's a great way for them to compare options and confirm legitimacy, right? Building that trust is going to help in ultimately closing more sales for you. And think about what that can do for not only your business, but also your life. And if there's a way to automate it, it's kind of a no-brainer here. Now, I also want to share a little bit, and I'll be sharing during this call today, where the algorithm is at now. Now, it's video and value favored and algorithm dependent. What that means is that the algorithm is looking for like a key few things. And if you tailor your content to those things and you please the algorithm will please you and show your posts to more people. Now, let's talk about all of the different types of platforms too, and then I'll share the types of content that really is working the best. I think what's really neat is that whether you are sharing on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, no matter what it is, we got a lot of them, Munch Studio does it all. So if you want to kind of have this omnipresence effect of showing up across the board and utilizing the benefits of each of these platforms, you can do that directly inside of the platform. Now, before I share the benefits of each of these platforms, I want you to ask yourself these two questions. This will help you decide which platforms you should be prioritizing. If you're like, wow, doing all of them at once sounds like a lot, or you're just starting off, choose one or choose two. Now, you'll want to ask yourself where your audience hangs out. right? If they're business professionals, they might be more LinkedIn forward. If it's if it you are a realtor and you're looking for a larger reach, you might want to go with TikTok or Instagram because that's where your clients might be hanging out. Now, if it's, $1 million homes and you're selling to business professionals, you might go with LinkedIn. And the second thing is, and this one's really, really important, this should almost be number one. What will you enjoy? What will you enjoy the most? Because if you're not enjoying it, again, you're going to be a little bit more inconsistent than you would be on a platform that you just genuinely like. So hopefully those two questions will help in narrowing it down for you. But also I want to share the benefits of each of these because it's kind of changed over time. TikTok, I want to share, is the best for growth and discovery. A lot of new people can start to find you there. Instagram is really great for building a brand. So, especially if you're an e commerce line or honestly any type of coach, it's a great place to build a consistent presence that people can come back to. Facebook is really beautiful for community building. There's also generally a little bit of an older audience on Facebook using it regularly and using it as a search engine. And so, if that's your demographic, Facebook is something wonderful to keep in mind. LinkedIn, like we talked about, is really great for reaching professionals or business to business if that's your niche. And then YouTube is wonderful for long form authority and discovery. Now, if you don't like filming long videos, YouTube might not be for you. But if you're someone that loves that and has this content maybe already readily available, it could be a platform that you'd like to tap into. And again, Munch Studio allows you to post across all of these. Okay, so let's talk about the type of content that's performing the best. I like to call these the three E's. So the first one is educational. And you'll probably relate to a lot of these, and maybe this is the type of content that you're even enjoying to consume. Educational content means that you're providing value. You're teaching a how to or a fun facts or these three things, right? That type of content where people feel like they're being delivered something instead of just mindlessly scrolling connects them to you and makes them want to follow you to learn more. Now, the other type is entertaining. This doesn't just mean funny, hilarious little cat meme videos, though it very well could be, and I'm guilty. I see a lot of that on mine. But this is content that is captivating. It catches you in and it makes you want to continue watching. Now, the third is endearing. Now, if you have a personal brand, you're probably sharing endearing content. This means you. And really, I just chose it because it starts with an E. But this is content that really showcases you, who you are, builds your personal trust, your personal authority. So chances are your content's going to fall more into one bucket than another, but you can kind of play into these different types of content too. Now, we talked about the algorithm a little bit earlier, which kind of on this too. The algorithm loves this type of content because the algorithm is watching for how long people are watching your post, how often they're interacting with it. That goes far beyond just liking and commenting, but also saving, sharing, etc. So let's talk about the different types of content, and then we'll dive into Munch Studio and show you how it can create all these different types for you. Now, the first one is stories that we have here. Stories is really specific to TikTok, to Instagram. It's popping up on other platforms as well too. But this is where you can share your content within a 24-hour window and it disappears. If you're someone new to sharing yourself on your social media pages and you want to practice, this will help get the scaries away. If you're afraid to post something, start with your stories and move into the rest of the feed. Though I will share with you, stories are really designed to nurture your existing audience. So they're not the best for growth. In fact, I wouldn't worry about your stories if your biggest factor in what you're trying to do is grow your audience. Carousels, on the other hand, can be great for growth, as well as nurturing your audience. And you can actually have designed posts, which Munch Studio will already create for you, so you don't have to spend those hours in Canva. But it's a really great way to educate people, to let them know of upcoming events, to let them know about product announcements, etc. Carousels I have on here versus a single picture, because when someone has to swipe through your content or look at more photos, it's more time that they're spending on your post, and the algorithm goes, ooh, People are spending a lot of time on this. They must like it. Therefore, I'm going to show it to more people. Now, Reels are a wonderful way to grow your audience. Reels are great because people are watching them for a really long amount of time. And in today's world, we love to consume through video content. So our platforms like the Instagrams, the TikToks, Facebook, YouTube, even LinkedIn now, is starting to favor some of these video posts. Now, long form video, again, this is really relevant when it comes to YouTube. When it comes to your Instagrams and your TikToks, you don't want to be posting really long content. In fact, I'll show you in just a second how Munch Studio can help you in creating bite-sized content from even your long form videos. So if you are using YouTube as a platform and you're creating this long form content, you can throw that into Munch Studio and it will help and create content that you can share across all of these other platforms. Okay, without further ado, let me stop sharing my screen and I'll show you how you can do this using Munch Studio. So we'll walk through it together. Let me just pull it on up and then I'll share with you. All right, here we go. Sharing screen. Sorry for my serious face. Oh gosh. There we go. So inside of Munch Studio, hopefully you guys can all see my screen. If not, someone yell at me in the Q&A section and I'll keep my eyes peeled on that. So inside of Munch Studio, we have our homepage here. Our homepage is a great place to start. If you're just getting started on Munch Studio or you're hopping in maybe today for your first time, come here and click on Create Content. We'll help guiding you in the different types of content that you can create. Though one of my favorite ways to create posts, especially if you're just getting started, is by clicking on Quick Posts. Quick Posts automatically generates custom content for you, custom to your brand, to the type of industry that you're in. And all of this is designed here. Not only is it designed, but it has videos incorporated in it. So you don't just have to be posting those photos like we talked about, but you can be posting the carousels, you can be posting the reels, and even in your stories. Now with Munch Studio, you choose the platforms that you want to be posting across. From there, it's going to create a content strategy for you. So let's take a look at this here. So for this example, I put in that I want to post across Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So here we go. And it's recommending how many posts, how many stories, and reels that we're posting. It's also created different goals for us, outlined our audience, and our key pillars and keywords. Now it looks like it's created new content for us, so let me go ahead and show that here and show you how you can create more yourself too. Now you'll see eventually this comes to a very end. I think we have like, I don't know, 50 posts here. But if you're not seeing something that you like and you want that refresh of content to see something new, you can click on Add Content and then select Quick Posts. Just like we saw, it'll generate new posts for you. So you're really never running out of options. Now, we also have the option here to tailor posts to your vision. So if there's something that you really specifically would like to see, whether it's about a certain product or there's a certain visual, you can go here and ask for specific things that you would like, then click Generate, and it will refresh with content more specific to that. Now, what I really love about this too is that yes, you can go and publish all of these if you would like, but you are in the driver's seat with Munch Studio. So you get to choose the content that's your favorite, and you can edit it to take it across the finish line. So if you're maybe a particular person like myself, you can update the caption, you can change any of the fonts, the colors, the styles, so it's completely customizable from here. But again, this is really helping you to get off any type of blank page and is creating these designs in advance. So this one's really cute. Let's take a look. So this is already playing into the video content as a reel, which we know performs really well. It's simple, but I should also share that in this example, while you're seeing a kid eating a watermelon, which is actually very relevant, is that the brand that I plugged into this one is Hiya Health. It's a kids nutrition and vitamin company. So that's why you're seeing all these bright, fun colors. You're seeing kids added into the content. You're seeing content that's about nutrition. Let's see, we have a carousel here. So let's go ahead and click on this one. And you can see we can scroll through these. And not only is it creating this content for us, but it's pulling in that educational content that we talked about earlier that performs well and helps with your growth. People want to save content that is valuable to them. They want to share content that's valuable to other people. So let me just use this one for an example. Let's say that I'd like to share this post. I can go ahead and click on this here. When I share the post, you can see that it's set up as a reel. We can choose exactly when we want it to go out using this smart scheduler, or we can toggle this off and choose a specific time if we'd like. But I'll go off the recommendations and say, heck, next Tuesday, let's share this one. Now, it takes you, really it helps you to get across the finish line faster by creating this caption here. Captions, man, I can get stuck for hours on a caption. But having this already started for me, all you need to do is go in and make different tweaks. You can also see that hashtags have already been written for you, so you don't have to worry about that. So we have the option here to post it now or use that time that we chose earlier. So let's go ahead and choose that Tuesday, March 17th. And you'll see it's moved us over to this content planner. You guys, I'm going to check the Q&A chat real quick, just in case you're not seeing this. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. And thank you guys so much for adding those questions in. Again, if they're popping up for you, keep adding it in. I'd love to hear from you guys and make sure that you feel really good by the end of this. So again, we're over on our planner now. And you can see there's all of these kind of white gaps in our calendar. And then we can see that pink post, the one that we just scheduled for Instagram. Now, anytime that you see a white gap here, that means that your content strategy, which by the way, you can edit at any time to change and say, actually, I don't want to do Mondays. Review changes and apply. And you'll see that your Monday has been updated inside of your calendar. So all of these gaps inside of your calendar are recommendations based on that content strategy. It by no means that you have to fill in every single one. But what it does mean is that you can jump into this calendar here and you can choose one of these gaps and it'll show you all the different posts that's recommending for LinkedIn, right? So let's say that I want to do, this one's cute. This one, the content's been written for us. Not only that, but the content is specifically written for LinkedIn, right? Sharing 3 takeaways. It's a little bit more dense in the caption than what you would have seen for Instagram. So let's say that I want to schedule this here. You can see it's been added in pink. So picture this, business owners. You come in once a week, you go to the planner, and you start filling in each of these gaps. It should take you only about 10 minutes to fill out your content for the whole entire week. And when consistency wins the game, this is exactly the tool to help you get there. So I saw in the chat that we had a question about video content. So I'm going to hop over to that next. Actually, one more thing I want to share with you. Again, if you're like me and you're a specific person of what you'd like to see, I do want to share that another good weekly thing to have on your to-do list is to go into your brand settings. Your brand settings, I like to call this your brain. This holds your website, your business name, your description, the problem that your business solves. Now, if you're new to Munch Studio and you haven't yet signed up for it, this is all part of the onboarding process. Basically, when you go to munchstudio.com and you start your free trial, it's going to ask you what your website is. You type it in this case, High Health, and it automatically generated the business name, the description, the problem you solve immediately. So you don't have to go through and type this in. But what I would recommend is as your business evolves, to be updating this, or if there's specific things that you want to see inside of that quick post content that's created for you, you can go here and add different things in. For example, I added this one in this morning. Posts should be lively, colorful, and showcase kids eating nutritious foods. All posts should be kid-friendly. I think we saw that in our content there. It was bright, it was alive, there were kids, healthy foods, and nothing dark or dull. So you can always go in here and add different things in. I call this your brains, but you also want to treat this as if it's your social media manager and you're giving it advice about what you would like to see. You can make this a very long paragraph. Keep going, add in content or add into the description your thoughts because it's only going to help in consolidating and perfecting that content that's automatically shown for you. Now we'll move on to the videos. So let's dive into our projects here. You guys have probably seen on social media that there's a big trend in talking heads, right? Where you're talking straight to the camera. This is because that really organic feeling is doing really well, especially as there's so much AI that's out there, even video AI, the more that you can show yourself, I think the better personally. So if you do have videos of yourself or you have that long form video already created, you can jump in to create new project and then create clips. This is where we're taking that long form video and we're cutting it down to little bite-sized pieces. By the way, that's why it's called Munch. Taking little bites of the content that you've created. So let's say that we're starting this. What's really cool is if you do have that uploaded to YouTube, you can just plop the link in right here. Or you can upload it directly from your computer, which is what I've done. So let's leave this. And like I said, I've done this before. So let's go ahead and click on one of these. I just did, I think it was like a 2-minute video of me talking about, I think I'm talking about how to film a good social media video in this. We'll see. But you can see that from this 2 or 3 minute video that it's created 9 different clips and it's actually scored them on what it thinks is excellent and going to perform really well, or what it thinks is just very good or, so-so. So I'm going to pay attention more on the content that it's already saying this is excellent. So let's take a look at this together. So let's talk about when you pull out your phone, the best kind of tricks of the trade for getting a good quality video. Okay, so you can see here, hopefully you can hear this too. It's added in music, it's added in the captions for us, and it's actually cutting little bits of content. So that way, it's not a 3-minute long video that's not digestible. It's something that people are going to watch and want to continue watching again and again. Now, like with any of these posts, you can go ahead and share or edit it further to update any of the captions, the design, etc. But that was all created without any extra work, just by choosing a template at the very beginning and uploading my video. Now, there's really only 2 more things that I want to point out for you, just to really keep this short and sweet, and I want to get to all of your questions. But I want to point out the Insights tab. Now, we talked earlier about the different types of content that you can be sharing, but you got to be listening too to how people are responding to the content that you share. It's important. If you post entertaining content time and time again and you're not getting results, it's important to switch your method and pop into something a little bit more like educational content to see how that performs. This is going to tell you what you should do more of and what you should do less of. And what's really neat and what I love about Munch Studio is that it's going to be pulling in, I only have Instagram connected, but like no matter what content or platform you have connected here, it's going to be showing you the insights across all of those in one dashboard. So you don't have to pop between your different apps. Let's take a look at the past 90 days, for example. You'll see what your reach has been, your engagement, and then you'll also be able to see all of the posts that you've published within that time frame and how it's performed. Right now we have this sorted by views, but if you want to see, your most liked post, you could do that as well. And again, this is just educating you, so that way you know what to do more of. And like I said, I only have Instagram connected here. But if you want to be posting across platforms, let's talk about how to do that. You'll navigate over to your integrations tab. This is what I like to call your magic weapon or your secret sauce, right? This makes the magic happen. Because if you're scheduling things to go live, but Munch Studio is not connected to your Facebook, for example, then that post is never actually going to be able to go live. So this is going to be an important step before you start publishing. Yes, you can go through, choose some of your favorite posts, start to queue it up in your calendar, but make sure you do this before it's time for that post to go live so it actually happens. Now, again, I have Instagram connected, but for any platform, yes, we have Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and TikTok. For any platform that you would like to be connected, you can select Connect here. You'll even notice that we have guides that can help you with, videos step by step of how to get it connected and what's required for each of these steps. Okay, that was a super speed round. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen just for a little while I pop into some of these Q&As, and maybe I'll share my screen again to talk you through it. So let's start at the very bottom. We have Kimberly. Thank you so much for all of your questions. Is there a best practice when recording videos that will make it easier for Munch to chop it up without awkward cuts? Yes, Kimberly, great question. And one of my favorite things about Munch Studio is that you can F it up. you can mess up in your videos, right? Because through the power of editing afterwards, you can cut out all of your mess ups that inevitably are going to happen. But I do want to show you, Kimberly, kind of like a best practice for filming your videos, especially if you're doing a talking head. I'll share my screen with you. So when you're filming a talking head, this is going to show you kind of this outline here. Feel free to take screenshots so you can always watch this replay. The no-no zone. This here in the red is the no-no zone. You don't want your face or the main subject to be there. You want your hook, like your title, to be at the top if you choose to add one of those on. Your eyes to be about where they are in this video and the captions below. This is just an example right here of what a hook could look like on screen. Um, a hook is really great to use too. So that's something like these 3 tips saved me 24 hours a week. You know, something that's going to get people in. Oh, that's juicy. I want to learn more about that. Or I want to know what she has to share. Like, I stopped drinking coffee and I feel better than ever. But it was really hard because I had a headache. Or like, do you ever get a headache when you're trying to quit drinking coffee in the morning? Me too, but here's how I kicked it. You know, something that reels people in. No pun intended. Um, all right. Another question, is there a way to add voice audio for the post on YouTube or TikTok? So, yes, whatever audio is in the video that you're uploading, yes, that audio will be included in it. If you, for example, wanted to overlay your audio on top of your video, you can do that too. What you'll need to do, record your audio, and then make sure that you airdrop it or save it to your computer or wherever you're using Munch Studio. And then you can actually upload your MP3. So same if you have like a specific song that you wanted to use. Let me see if I can pull that up quickly for you, and I'll walk you through that section. Okay, see here, and the post audio. Okay. Sorry, let me go ahead and share my screen for you. I just pulled up the section, but let me walk you through how I got here. Um, I went into my project, so where my video is being uploaded, and act as if I'm going to share it. And I'm pressing this edit icon where I can jump into that video. I'm glad you asked because I'm excited to show you this part. This is where you can make edits to any of your transcripts, to the styles, to the overall template of what your captions look like, for example, right? I used this one on the last one. You can move everything around. You can add images, shapes, and audios. This is what we're talking about here. So if you wanted to change the audio that's in the background, we have some automatically on the platform. But if there's something specific you want to upload, you'll just go right here and select the upload button, and that will allow you to choose one of your MP3 files and add that on top of your project. All right, next question. Um, is there a best practice? Oh, got that one. What was the red triangle on the LinkedIn post that was added to the planner? Good call out. Let me share screen on that too, just in case anybody else missed it. Um, that meant that I don't have LinkedIn connected. So if you're seeing that pop up on yours, that is what it's trying to tell you. So let's see. I think we are looking at the next week. Okay, right here. So here we can see that my Instagram post was successfully posted or scheduled. Now, if you want to unschedule that at any time, you can delete the post, which I'll do here because our Instagram is connected to this platform. So if I left that there, you guys would see this pop up on Munch Studio's Instagram, which the team would not be very happy with me for. But right here, this LinkedIn post has this little red icon. That's because this post, even though it's scheduled, will not go live because I don't have LinkedIn connected. So as I hover over this here, you can kind of see that text. So I need to connect my LinkedIn account in order for this to be successfully published. Vanessa asks, how do Munch compare or compete with CapCut in video performance? I'm a beginner level CapCut user, and I'm finding the post creation on Munch awesome. I'm not sure about the videos. Great question, Vanessa. And I hope kind of as you saw the project, especially as I went through and showed you how you can edit it down further, there's very similar tools that are in there. I think the main difference is that this is kind of cutting it for you and creating the template for you. And kind of has these different resources like the MP3 upload and, well, I guess CapCut has that as well too. But basically, it's helping you to get there faster than ever before by creating these different versions. But if you are an editor and you love all of the different tools and you prefer to be part of every part of the process, while there's all those tools inside of Munch Studio, it kind of just comes down to preference. I think Munch Studio is a little bit better for a beginner, but as you advance, you might want to use a tool like CapCut, for example. Nicoletta asks, will the content strategy adjust itself based on analytic to recommend posts at the time that they will perform best? That's a great question. So, yes, the content strategy is based on recommended times that you should be posting. But if you are seeing something different inside of your analytics, Munch Studio, I don't think is going to make that connection automatically. But what you can do is you can go ahead and update that content strategy yourself. If you're seeing, okay, this post that went out on 5 p.m. is performing really well, you might want to try posting at 5 p.m. again. Ariane asked, I had this feature but it disappeared from my dashboard. Please reach out to the team. Of course, doing a refresh or incognito might help support that, but it'd be great for our team to know. So if you don't mind reaching out to support@munchstudio.com, our team can work with you and make sure that you're not missing any features. Kimberly asked, can we have more than 3 brand colors? We do limit you to 3 brand colors because it's just kind of an overall recommendation, right? When you have a little bit more than that, it can become a very, very colorful brands. And you might have that, and you have the ability to edit each of those posts to change any of the colors before you publish it to go live. But we've consolidated it to 3, just kind of based on branding strategies. Um, can Munch create YouTube videos? Yes. So Munch Studio has plans to evolve in their video content. So that's really exciting. So that way you don't always have to be the person on camera. We created Munch Studio for people that are just beginning their journey and might not be ready to share themselves on video. So, our video content and strategy is going to be evolving over this year, so be on the lookout for many changes to support that in future YouTube videos. But yes, it can help you with your videos to add captions, to kind of adjust framing, different things like that. Let me show you where I feel that would be really helpful for you. So underneath projects, the when you click on new project, I selected this one to create clips that are about 30 seconds long, right? So I want short videos from this. But if you simply want to add captions or videos or kind of make edits to your long form video, you can do that through this area too. So again, this helps to munch it down. This helps to edit those long form videos. And as long as you have YouTube connected, you can post directly from the platform as well. Okay, last question. Thank you guys for sticking with me. Kimberly asked, I don't have a lot of videos that were pre-recorded to demonstrate my voice and tone, but I have several PDF newsletters. Is there a way to leverage those with Munch since you can't add PDFs into the media section? I'm so glad that you asked this because yes, actually, there's a really cool new feature that just got rolled out inside of Munch Studio. And it too is underneath the project section. Let me see. Okay, I'll show you why it's not there. But if you have, I guess it's specific to blogs. So Kimberly, I'll share a two-part answer for you. If you have blogs on your website and you're in that area that I was in, when you click on to create a new project, it's going to give you an option to create content directly from your blogs. That means if I have a nutrition kids company and I'm talking about how bad Red 40 is for you on my website blog, you can actually click on a button inside of Munch Studio that will extract that blog content and turn it into post for you. So I think that's phenomenal. So if you are posting in a blog format on your website, it will extract that. One of the reasons it's not popping up for me and something to be aware of is if you recently connected your website, it takes about, maybe like 15 minutes or so to scrub your website and find those blogs. So if you just recently went through and threw in your website name, you have to wait for that button to appear. It might take a refresh, or if you're missing it and you do have blogs, let the team know. But that should be something that pops up for you. Now, if they are newsletters, that's a great point. I would go into, let me share again. I would go into Explorer and click on Add Content, and then choose Tailor Post to Your Vision. When we click on this, you can see, let me click on Guidelines. You can see kind of the recommendations of how to maybe take some of that newsletter content to have it generate posts for you. And then the other thing that you could do, if there's specific things you can teach Munch Studio from these newsletters, is you could actually go to your brand settings and add it into the description. Again, you might not want to add the whole entire newsletter because this is going to stack up a bunch and really generate content around that time after time again. But if there's little pieces that are going to inform Munch Studio how to make better content for you, that's another way to go about it. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for your time on today's call and hanging out with me to go through Munch Studio. Again, if you're not a part of the tribe, you can go to munchstudio.com and become a muncher. There's a free trial for you there to check it out. And yeah, happy munching, everybody. Dive in, get your posts going, check out the projects feature, especially if you're someone that has video content. Because again, video content is really something that's performing really well, and I'd encourage you guys to take advantage of, whether you're on camera or you're using some of those quick posts where we're generating that content for you. All right, thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day, and I hope to see you on the next one.